Growing up, I learned quickly that not everyone had a mom and a dad. Not everyone's parents' marriages lasted. They say 50% of marriages end in divorce. I mean, maybe that is why I'm not married and definitely not in a rush. So, in August of this year, my parents will celebrate 37 years of marriage. But how? Is it like the movies? Do they complete each other? I literally can count on one hand how many of my friends' parents are still married. So, what did my parents do differently? We start with how they met. All right. So tell me the story on how you guys met, because I've heard this story a couple times, but it's different. So, Dad, you give your version, and then Mom, we go get your version. There's two sides, actually three sides to every story. So, Dad, go ahead.
I went to a nightclub.
Okay. Don't look so mad. So you went to the club, okay?
Yes, because I was clubbing.
And what year was this?
18, 32.
November.
Oh, you know the month.
He does too. He know more than I do. November 8th, right?
Oh.
I don't know.
So 1974, probably. Three?
Yeah, 1973, 1974. I don't remember the exact year, but one of those two.
74.
Okay.
Okay. So November 8th, 1974. You went to a club. Were you partying, DJing? What were you doing?
I was fooling around with a band.
Okay.
This was their last night.
Okay.
This was their last weekend.
He
Okay.
wasn't even gonna go that night. You was asleep. You woke up from being asleep.
That's correct.
So you weren't even gonna go that night.
That is correct.
So what I heard was he woke up from being asleep.
That
And
is
he
correct.
came out.
All right. So you went to the club, and what happened?
I walked in there and actually walked in behind her. I thought she was somebody else.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't really speak or anything because I thought she was somebody else.
Did you notice him, Mom, already?
Nope.
No. You was minding your business. Who were you with? Friends?
Friends.
And Dad, you was by yourself or with friends?
Yeah. I
Nah.
was by myself.
Oh, really? Okay.
I was. When I got to the club, I was by myself.
Okay.
Oh,
And then-
okay. Yeah.
So then what
Yeah,
happened? When
we
you
got
saw
there.
Mom, you thought what?
She was pretty.
so, so who approached who?
As I recall, it was kind of mutual. It was like a connection kind of thing, right?
I remember you were with two people, so
Yeah, but that was,
yeah. So anyway, I was there
was close.
just for the weekend
Okay.
with a college friend. So she had been bugging me about going to the Tri-Cities. And so finally I said, okay,
Where's the Tri-City?
we'll go.
What is that?
I hear it's Pasco, Kennewick, and
We'll
Richland, Washington.
go to the
So you
Tri-Cities.
went. And you guys were in college at this time. Do you remember how old you were?
I was in college, yeah.
I was in between quarters.
So basically, you wasn't in school. You
For-
took a
for that quarter,
semester
yes.
off. How
Right.
old were you guys?
So I was
I think I was.
almost 20.
Yeah, I was. If she was almost 20, then I was almost 22.
Oh, you were a teenager, Mom. What were you wearing? Bell bottoms, platforms.
He remembers probably. I don't remember. He can remember all those details.
Right.
I'll show you the picture.
What?
Please do.
You have a picture from that day?
I have a picture of you wearing those pants that you had on the night we met.
Oh, see?
Oh, okay.
I'll tell you. He's got a good memory on details.
Okay. So you approached her and said what? Do you remember the first words?
Let's dance.
That's what you said?
Probably, yeah, because that's
Oh,
what
you
we
don't.
did.
What kind of dancing did y'all do?
I don't even remember who was playing.
It was a band playing.
Yeah. Don't remember.
I don't know. It was just a
the name of
dance.
the
I don't
band or
remember,
anything.
minutely like that.
Okay. So who asked for the number first?
He did. I wouldn't
No.
ask for your number.
No. I told her that I would come back the next night to get her phone number.
Wait. And that worked?
Yes.
There was nothing
Ma.
else to do in the Tri-City.
No.
I mean, in them days, they'd have buses.
No, okay. See, what you need to know about your daddy is he was a player back in those days.
Oh. Excuse me. Pretty Ricky, that's what they called you, right?
That's what they
No,
called
they
me.
called him Mike.
And
And Mike,
and
Pretty
no,
Ricky.
Mike Mike stayed in high school.
They call him Mike.
Um,
So.
Pretty Ricky is what they call me.
Right.
And
Really?
so, anyway.
Where'd you get the pretty
So,
part?
okay,
I
wait,
didn't
wait.
remember
So-
that part.
Wait, let's go back.
Okay.
So Dad said, I'm gonna come back tomorrow and get your number, and you was like, okay.
Was nothing else to do.
There was nothing
In the
else to do,
Tri-Cities,
so
really,
we went back.
at that time.
So
Like I
obviously-
said, they didn't have buses.
So the next night happened,
Obviously.
and you went back.
Obviously.
So then what did you do, Dad? You say, oh, here's my
I
number.
got the
That's
number.
what I said. Oh, you got the number. Excuse me. Okay.
'Cause back then they didn't have cell phones.
Right. So did you get her house number to like grandma and
The
grandpa?
number to her, what she was going to college,
College.
remember?
Oh, you had a dorm phone number?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah.
All right. So y'all started talking, and then what? You guys decided to be boyfriend and girlfriend. How did that work back in the day?
It just kind of happened.
So no, so you didn't ask Mom, "Will you be my girlfriend?"
Nah,
No.
he didn't ask me.
No.
So how did you know you were his
He
girlfriend?
kept calling me.
But I
She
mean,
kept-
nowadays, let me tell you about my
She
generation.
kept answering.
And he kept, okay.
Yeah.
Let me tell you about my generation.
Okay.
Because they will be like, especially female, well, I just need to know where we are, and I don't know, and da 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 da.
Uh-huh.
So you didn't
Nope.
do that. Y'all just knew.
We just
Yeah.
started.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he went back to school. And
The
she-
next quarter.
The next quarter.
Okay, what did you like about Dad? Why did you give the number?
Because he's crazy.
So that's a good reason to give your number out.
He was nice.
Okay, Dad,
Funny.
why did you?
He tried to be funny.
Okay, so he made you laugh.
Yeah.
First night, second night,
Just maybe the second night.
Dad, and you approached her because she was pretty.
Yeah.
So
That's
in
it.
the beginning, looks
That's
were
it.
that was
That
good,
was when she passed the first test.
Oh, wow.
and that was the first test.
Passed
being
the first
attractive.
test. Isn't that sweet? Passed the first test.
Okay, so you guys started kicking it. What was it like when you first met each other's parents? Dad, I want to know how did Grandpa, because I know Grandpa, and I want to know
Which grandpa are you talking about? Her father or
No,
mine?
her father.
Okay.
How did Grandpa feel about you?
Well, I can't tell you how he felt, but I can tell you how he acted.
Well, how did he
No, the
act?
first time, not when. Oh, anyway.
He'd be like any typical father, I would imagine. He was a little bit distant because I looked kind of, like I said, I was a player. I looked the part.
So you were in your bell bottoms when you met him?
Bell bottoms, and I had my hair processed. Laid, if you
Jerry
will.
curl?
No, this was before Jerry curled.
Oh, okay.
But,
Did you have your guitar when you met him?
yep.
Dad! Wait, so did you go to the house first and you picked her up?
Yeah.
When we came over here, you mean?
Well, I'm trying to think the first time I came over and we, hi, Mom and Dad, this is Ricky. And, yeah, I came to Seattle.
Right. We came over.
Yeah.
Yep.
So when you went, you were a gentleman and you went and knocked on the
Well,
door.
I was just me,
Yeah. But did you walk up to the door or did you honk your horn?
No, I walked up to the door. I have good home training.
Yeah, yeah.
You know,
He came in. Yeah.
I have good home training. I come from good stock.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I knew how to do that part.
So then, Mom, after you guys went out on a date, obviously that's what Dad was picking you up. When you got home, what did Grandpa and Grandma say about him?
That he was okay.
What did Grandpa say?
Finished school.
Okay.
Yeah, for school.
Okay.
You know, just do what you need to do.
So what was it like when you met Grandma, his mom and Dad?
When I met her, I went over to the house, and she was, I think, hollering at the twins or
Yeah.
something, and she had this
No.
stocking cap on her head.
She was hollering at me
Oh, one of y'all.
because she didn't know where the twins were.
Oh, okay. Knew something about the twins. So,
They
so
were
she
with
was hollering,
yeah.
and she had this stocking cap on, and then she said, "Oh,
Wait,
And-
so it was at night when you went over?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
late."
It was the second night, the night that I went back to get the phone number.
Okay.
And got the phone number, and then we actually left the club together.
And you brought her home that night?
Yes.
Dad! Mom, you went?
What's
to
the
meet
deal?
his mom and stuff.
No,
Oh,
it
really?
wasn't. It wasn't necessarily to meet my mom. I don't know why we went
No,
there,
we
but
had
we.
to run through there and get something. I can't
Yeah,
remember
it was
what.
something I
So
had to
you
get
lived with a man that you met for 2 days and went to his house.
I'm grown.
because they
Oh,
they
at
called me.
19. Excuse me. Okay.
They
I'm
called
gonna use
me.
that line on you one day.
Yeah.
Plus, I had a nice car
And a nice car. What kind of car were you driving?
and I had a good job.
Okay. And did you know these things before you left the club with him?
Yeah.
So that's what y'all talked
So
about in the club.
in the car he had for a long time. He had that car for,
The whoopee.
yeah,
At that time,
the whoopee.
I hadn't had it but a couple of years.
But I know, but you
But
had
I
it for a
entered.
long
Yeah.
time.
In fact, you remember that car?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Barely, huh?
But when I knew the car, I don't see why you would have gotten it.
Oh,
Well-
because it was
it was
nice.
all rusty by the time I know
Yeah.
it.
Well,
know it
back
was
then
really
it was
nice.
new.
Right,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
shining.
really new.
And one thing I know about my dad, it was clean.
Yeah, it was
Yes.
nice. It was nice.
Okay. So you met Grandma. What did Grandpa say? Was Grandpa
I
there?
don't think he was he there?
No, Daddy wasn't there because he
Yeah.
was at work.
Okay.
Because my father worked in the country club, so he always got home late at night.
Yeah, so.
And this
I
was
didn't meet him.
relatively early in the evening, relatively.
Right.
So it was before midnight. I know.
Oh, y'all left the club early, so you was like,
We
"Good,
had-
you here? Here's the number. Let's go."
I had plans, and so I do not recall why we went back to my house.
Okay.
Yeah, probably get something.
Yeah, probably, but I don't remember exactly what it was. And my mother, your grandmother, was there.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart.
She was mad because
Because she was there.
no, because she didn't know where your Auntie Tammy and Auntie Tovia were,
Okay.
my little sisters,
Right.
and she was fussing at me, and I told her, "Mom, I have company," and she said, "I don't care," and she walked out there, and your mother was sitting there, and her demeanor immediately changed.
To a good, like, oh.
Yes,
Yeah.
because she was obviously she wasn't from Pasco,
Okay.
and she probably looked like a college girl.
Yeah.
You know, looking back on this now,
The afro, Mom. You had a nice afro back in the day, right?
she had a head full of hair. I don't know if she was wearing a fro at that particular
Oh,
time,
okay.
but she probably looked like a college girl.
Okay.
And so, Mama's demeanor immediately changed.
Okay.
And so I said, "Mom, this is Rosalind." I did not introduce her as my girlfriend or anything because I had just met her.
Yeah.
You know, "This is Rosalind. Oh, hi," blah, blah, blah. And I told her that I thought that the twins was with your Aunt Latanya,
Okay.
which they were.
Okay.
Yeah.
So do you think, looking back, was it love at first sight? Or was it just interest at first sight?
I think interest is a real good term
Mm-hmm.
because the love thing, there's a series of tests that people put each other through. And I just shared with you one of mine.
And that was
To
she
come
was
back
good?
to come back the next night to get the phone number.
Oh, okay.
There was a purpose for that.
So that was a test.
That was a
Interest.
test.
Okay.
So you wanted to see if she was
If
interested.
she would come back and give me the phone number.
And if she didn't, I might not be here today.
That's correct. I would have moved on.
Right.